Let's talk about arrays and the difference between creating a variable and then an array. So in programming, we create variables to hold information. And in this program, I'm creating a variable num, and when I create it, I'll initialize it to 0. Well, that's great, but what if I wanted to create 100 integer variables? That would be a lot of work to type out each name one by one, right? num1, num2. So what I can do instead is I can create an array, which is just like a bunch of variables. And the only difference is how you access that memory location. When I want to access a variable's memory location, I just give it the name. When I want to access an array's memory location, I have to be specific about which position I'm talking about. So to create an array, you have to give it a name, and then you are going to use these square brackets, and then inside the square brackets is how many memory locations you want to reserve. So I've created a constant max with 10, so this will create 10 memory locations. So if I hit next, you can see that num was initialized to 0, and then this is how you initialize all of the memory locations in an array. You assign it, and then the curly braces with a 0 inside. So when I hit next, you can see that all the memory locations got set to 0. So when I want to access a variable, I use the assignment operator to assign values to it. So if I do this, you can see 22 is now assigned in that variable memory location. If I want to assign a variable, if I want to assign a value in an array memory location, I have to just change the syntax a little bit. I have to give it the name of the array, and then I have to say which memory location I'm talking about inside the square brackets. And so arrays are numbered starting at position 0, and this is called an index. So index 0. So if I want to put something in that first memory location, I have to specify it's at position 0. So if I hit next, you can see that 32 was placed in this memory location. If I want to put something in the 8th memory location, that would be position 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 8th memory location because the first one starts at 0. So I'm going to assign it 45. And then if I want to access the last memory location, it's always going to be at position the size of the array minus 1, right? There are 10 memory locations, and the last one is in position 9. So that would be 10 minus 1, and that would be 9. So to access the last memory location, I will say max minus 1, and I'll assign it 99. And you can see that 99 was put in that last memory location. Now a little bit of vocabulary. Each of these memory locations is called a cell, C-E-L-L. The data inside the cell is called an element, and then the position of the cell is called an index. So you will be learning that vocabulary in this lesson.